Ooh, gentlemen, how's everyone doing? It's Dimo here. So if you're curious, who the hell is this guy, Dimo? Well, I'm a guy who played a lot of Dark and Darker in the past, and I've made like up to 600 videos, and I've made tons of builds. Practically my whole channel, my whole freaking existence is about builds and the way you can build them. So today I've decided to spend dozen of hours analyzing every single skill there is in Arc Creators, and I've decided to come up with my personal ideal build that I would use for, you know, for further reference, I'd say. Just like, I want to make a little guide that you could use to dominate your early game, mid game, late game, whether or not we're going to have 60 fucking attribute points or 30 or however levels there's going to be in the game. There is a way to build your character to have advantage both as a scavenger and a PvPer. Pretty much we have three areas which we could level up. One is the conditioning to mobility, which is, well, obviously mobility will make you faster, and three is survivability, which is survival. So the survival, well, I don't think I need to explain what survival stands for, but practically it's just gonna make you loot faster, you'll be making less noise, you know, this and that. But there is one very important fucking skill that I want to talk about. Let's zoom in really fast. Oh, this looks like us. Okay, it's a little better. So once we zoomed in, there is one very important perk that I want you guys to have, no matter what your background, what your skill level is, no matter what you do. I think this perk right here is extremely undervalued, and I haven't seen that many people are talking about this. Like, dude, you don't even know how important this perk is. If you're starting off with a free loadout, even if you're just playing on in regular basis, yes, I know there's some PvP gods that will avoid using the you know, this perk in particular, but for 99% of player base, if you're not 0.0001% player who is like literally a fucking CS god, just like, you know, fucking came into Arc Creators to stomp on everyone, this is gonna be extremely good for you. I'm a player who played Escape from Tarkov for 1,000 hours. I've played Dark and Darker for 6,000 hours. Well, if this doesn't mean too much, this could be a little reference to why I think this is good. My personal take is this ability to craft items within the dungeon when you're starting off is just too good to be true, you know? It's like, it's just too good to not to have. You just gotta simply have it, and you just gotta go with it. Just saying, no other option. When we're gonna start off, we're gonna go with these into this revitalizing squad, my bad. Into the in-round crafting. Yup, that's literally it. We put 3 points straight away in ability into ability to craft items. Sorry, I might be unable to fucking repeat myself many times, but don't get me wrong, I'm not American. English isn't my first language. I'm Ukrainian, but still. Yeah. So anyway, we gotta go with mobility next, and in my humble opinion, I think marathon runner plus youthful lungs is way too important. If anything, I would put all the points in these next. And yeah, you could say, but oh hey, but there is one perk that you gotta have, which is used to the waiting. Don't get me wrong, slow down, cowboy, wait a second, hold on a minute, let me explain myself first. Why am I gonna go with mobility first? So here is my take. No matter what you do, you will need stamina. And if you have more stamina, you will be able to do more things faster. You will be able to go from point A to point B faster. You will be able to loot and just get everything faster because you are able to move around the map faster. And these two perks are just straight up S tier. If I get to put fucking make it my own tier list, these two will be literally in SS Thanos tier plus. These are too good to not have. Next, we're gonna move on to the next one. Once we have these two, this is great. I'd recommend having used to the weight. This is really nice. Early on, you will be able to use light shields, which doesn't really slow you down. Then you gotta go to a medium shield, which will slow you down by 5%. May not be a lot, but this will be very handy down the line, probably closer once you be hitting like level 20, 25, where you will have access to be able to either buy or craft heavy shields. And in that case, once you have access to heavy shields, this perk is gonna get in right here, if not better. Like straight up, because ability to run at 100% move speed, no matter what, is just too good. And yeah, once you have access to heavy armor, this is just gonna be godly, and you gotta have it. That ass, you just gotta go with it. And yeah, so there is a number of things we could go with, but there is one perk in particular which I think is really freaking nice. So, for example, we have few here, which I have tested in the previous playtest, which is really nice. I would, well, obviously go for the Blastborn. Some people may avoid it, but at least 1 point will help you to not get affected too much by the explosions. Especially, you will be able to hear like the tiny footsteps. If you have somewhat with decent headset, this is gonna escalate your ability to hear people, especially when there is shots, explosions, and bunch of other garbage, which could be hella cringe. And this is gonna help you a bit. I haven't tried to max it out, but I've noticed how much clearer the sound is with the Blastborn. We want to get the breaching doors and containers at which will take less time. So if you might ask me, but like, dude, why do you need to go for it? It's like isn't that just like, just look around? The thing is, no matter what you do in the game, it's gonna take time. And when you have a perk that will save your time, you will be able to do more activities in the raid. And with this perk right here would have been maxed out. For me personally, I think it's just too good. Oi, gentlemen, we're looking kind of backstory. I end up going to YouTube and watching cat videos for fucking 2 hours. My bad. Anyway, so there is a hot take in the community that the calming stroll is really good. And here I'm going to disprove it. Calming stroll, in fact, is not good. It's horrible. It's ass. I don't understand who came up with an idea that calming stroll is good. It's not. It only affects when you're walking slowly, like super slowly, like you're over fucking cucumbered. Like when you barely can move. It's like it doesn't work when you're jogging, which would make this fucking perk god tier. It only works when you're slowly crab walking, and it just makes the calming stroll really bad. But this perk, on the other hand, is really good. But the problem is, there is a really important perk in the survival line, which make it a little complicated here. And you would have to decide whether you want to go with a sleep and slide route into the carry the momentum, or you don't take that like practically at all, and you go for agile croucher into the looter's instinct, into the silent scavenger, and then you max this one right here out, which once again is going to save your time drastically, and very, very important. Any perk that will save your time doing activities that will make you richer is just too important to not have. I repeat, you may say, but hey, there is like a bunch of other perks that could help you in combat. I understand that, but most of your time you're going to be looting boxes, breaking stuff, breaching doors, like looting harvester, like getting from point A to point B is like, it's a lot more important to have perks that will save your time. And this one just S tier. Literally as valuable as these two. Okay, well, not as valuable. These are obviously better. I would say these are S tier plus. This is S tier plus. So, we have an extra S right here. So yeah, okay, next we have an option to go for, since we're going all the way here, which is the broad shoulders, which will increase the maximum weight you can carry. Well, there you gotta pick something from here. And obviously, I'm not sure why I don't have these. I might have fucking misclicked or something, but these were the basic. Don't mind that. These were what we start with, these 3 perks right here. So we might actually go for Agile Croucher, and I'm going to explain why. There are moments in the game where crouch walking could be very, very handy, and if you get more points into the Agile Croucher, you will be able to move around in the crouch state faster, which could actually make it or break it. There are times when you would have to rat for a while, and this perk is literally for that. Now, between two perks here, we could get stamina regeneration while crouching, and we can get silent scavenger, which will make you make less noise. The thing is, if you're in a state when you need to crouch, you probably don't need too much stamina. Most of the time, like when you're crouching, you're writing, and you already have full stamina to begin with. So I don't think I want to go with this, even though I've seen suggestions that revitalizing squad is nice. In my opinion, it's nice, but not as nice as an ability to stay silent, which could really contribute to your survivability. So instead of revitalizing squad, which gives us stamina when we are in a crouch state, we're gonna get more points in the silent scavenger, which gives us more points in ability to like stay stay silent. Yeah, like sometimes I just can't get my thoughts together. Okay, and obviously next, well, since we can't really take this option, we'll go with the suffer in silence. So basically, it's practically useless. When you're critically hurt, you're going to be making less noise. Now, when you're running away, this could be very nice, but in any other case, we don't want to build around us running away. We want to build around dominating the game. So yeah. And next we have hands down one of the best perks there is in the game, and that is ability to carry more items. There is another perk which is Looter's Luck, which is hella good, but this will be only handy once you already did part A, which is breaching, and part B, which is looting. So you want to have more Looter's Luck only after you already put enough points into the important stuff, which I already shown you before here. By the way, right here, the Blastborn, it's up to you whether or not you want to have it. You can feel free to skip it. I'd have at least 1 point because it really does help me. Maybe because my headset is S, but you never know. Yeah, well, at least 1 point will make a little difference. So yeah, now we are sitting at a solid 40 points. Now we could actually go for some other stuff. For example, we could get the slide further mechanic. And if anything, I would be willing to put 3 points in this slide, sleep and slide, up to 4. So we get to have access to carry the momentum. And now we are kind of up. At this point, we're going to have additional points which we could put into the use weight. And by the way, use weight, I'd argue, is even more important than fucking anything else here. The moment you have access to shields, you want to max this out. So before you get Proficient Pryer, before you get Looter's Instinct, before you get Suffering Silence, before you get any of this, well, other than mobility is really important. So it's like you definitely want to have 11 points into the, these three right here. You want to have the use to the weight, because at some point in the game, you're going to have access to heavy shield, and heavy shield is going to slow you down by 15% as far as we know, and unless they will change it. In the previous test and the test before, it was minus 15%. And being able to move at 100% while everybody else would be at, minus 15 is going to give you a pretty big advantage. Now, I've seen some solid perk later down the line, like right here, which is loaded arms, but it's too deep, and it would require too much contribution. And I haven't seen that many perks in here that I would like to take in order to get to the loaded arms. So people that are saying that, hey, you should go for it, you should go for it only in case if you don't have mobility, and in case you don't have the broad shoulders, which just give you direct buff to your main character, you know what I mean? So it's arguable. If there would be mobility, you could get all this stuff, but the thing is, mobility is just too good to not have, and the survival is also too good to not have. So it's hella complicated. There is many options, but reality, there is not that many options, because you just want to have 11 points in stamina, you want to have faster breach, you want to have faster loading, you want to walk faster. I guess this is something that we could take off, but reality, if you want to get to the broad shoulders, you would have to pick between agile croucher, which is really nice, which will give you move speed, and making less noise, or having your stamina up, which in my opinion are drastically below in performance compared to agile croucher. So yeah, this is basically the build that I would go with. Well, now you have a lot of options here since we are sitting at 21 plus 16 plus 12, which is gonna put us at 40. Wait, 49. Sorry, yeah, 49. We have, if we have 50 points in this game to choose from, you get to choose either good as new, or you get to pick looter's luck. I would not recommend having looter's luck because it's just not going to be as valuable. But for example, if you're playing in a squad, you could have one of your teammates to get toward the looter's luck as soon as possible so that your teammate will be able to go and loot items faster, which will contribute in higher group yield. But other than that, if you're mainly like myself playing solos, which is going to be the case probably for the next season as well, well, the looter's luck is going to be secondary. Anyway, with this, I'd say the video going to come to an end, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. I'm Dimo. I hope you were able to find this video useful. I hope you consider to subscribe because we're going to post a lot of stuff from tryhard to farming routes, to guides, to new player guides, to night raids, to raids where we're gonna make a fuck ton of money and stuff, to raids where we're gonna route farming blueprints and other valuable, including farming mini bosses and the queen itself. Obviously, like you cannot go anywhere without queen because she is the main queen of our game. Anyway, once again, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna see you around. I'm gonna see you on the top side. Oh yeah.